Hi friends, it's Aubrey from Crybaby Seminole Homestead, and we are very sad, but it's too late for us to salvage our cherries for ourselves because they have been infested with worms. However, I have a really cool hack if you have backyard hens on making sure that those cherries don't go to waste. Let's start by picking our cherries off of the tree. While I'm out here, I need to do some pruning of these cherry suckers, and I'm going to show you how I use them as well for some wildcraft art supplies, basically. I don't like anything going to waste, so I'm going to save the leaves for making soil. I'm going to save the stems for making wreaths and baskets and other things like that, and I'm going to save the cherries for the chickens. I'll freeze some. I will feed them some. I'm going to save the seeds, which I'll plant, and I know some people will say, oh, but they won't be true, but I'll actually use them as rootstock for planting and grafting. So I really need to clear the pathway, so I am cutting this back, and I'm going to be using everything, and I already cut back some dead lavender parts, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to my my container. Lots of leaves in here, and now we're going to chop this up, add a dry layer. So we've added a dry layer, some more dry bits accumulated in a pot, so I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to add some soil from a pot. I can't believe some people throw away their old soil. Doesn't make any sense. You don't have to do that. When the stems are nice and green like this, you can just grab them and pull them backwards. On the stems that are too contorted for me to use for making wreaths, I'm chopping them up into little bits, and they'll be added here to make more soil. So we have another green layer, and I'm going to use some dead fern leaves to do another dry layer. I'm going to chop up these fern leaves and make another layer right here. I've got some leftover soil that I'm going to go ahead and add to this layer. That really does help it to get started. Very good. So if you see in here, there's multiple plants also in there. It's the big ones that are on sale. So there's 5 in here, and there's 5 in here. Or the sale, it's 2 for $10, so that's $1 per plant. And these are like 5 something. That's $1 per plant as well. These are going to be $5 each, or 5 something each. I like them. The other ones that are bigger, they're on sale, look like they're diseased, so I'm going to go with the ones that look very healthy. That one there's also like $5.48 or $5.98, but there are 4 plants in there. So for my cucumbers and zucchini, I'm getting them for $1 each. This is how you can get a really good deal. That's the original price. No, it's 5. These look really good, but I look for perennials. This one here is a perennial. think one of those and two. Okay, we've got to top this off, and I've been layering it with dry material like the ferns and interlaying it with leaves. Sure. You want to hold the camera for me? Like that? Right there. Good job. I've got a videographer right now. Hold up just a little bit more. Good job. So I've been interlayering it with leaves and other things. I even have a little bit of rocks in here. Not a lot. I wasn't doing that on purpose, but it wasn't worth my time to dig them out. So I'm going to get this good and topped off. And then I'm going to plant either a squash or a cucumber. I'm trying to decide. The roots probably won't go down far enough, don't wiggle it, honey, to really worry about the material I put in the layers. But it'll break down. And after I have squash, no honey, keep it still, right there. Move your hand a little bit. Whoop. After it breaks down more, then I can plant maybe a perennial in here. Okay, I'm gonna go pick the plant that I'm gonna put in here. So it looks like I have 4 or 5 bush cucumbers that I purchased in one pot, and I know they don't like to be transplanted, like separated. So we'll see how it goes, but that's too many to put into one pot. So I went ahead and topped off this second container here with some more soil, so I'll have these side by side. Maybe I'll put 2 in each of them. Let's go ahead and see how this goes, because I'm a little worried about separating them. Like, one of them is super tiny, so I don't know about that one. We'll see. And I always like to situate the pot inside the other one just to make sure I'm going to be level, and I am going to make this level once I take this out. This is what the roots look like inside the pot. So I'm going to kind of tease them apart and see if I can get them to be separated into 1 or 2 per container. And true to the other people's encounters, they do not separate very nicely. So, I mean, honestly, it's better to plant them from seed. As I was separating them, it smelled like cucumbers and pickles. So that was kind of fun. But I'm going to go ahead and pot these up. I've decided to put some other things in here as well to maximize the space. I'm going to be giving them a lot of good nutrients and so forth too. But I've got some flowers in here. I have some salmonberry, which is going to be a perennial, which will eventually own this container. And then over here I've got some more flowers I bought from a local plant sale. And we have a friendly little earthworm right here. Welcome to your garden home. Yep. That feels safe for now. That one's starting to look good. Swoop over here and get to working on this one. As I was digging up soil to put in here, I found a few bulbs. Not sure what they are, but I'm going to put one in the center of each of these. Nice. I'm going to cut some dead fern leaves for mulch. Got a good handful here of these dried fern leaves, and then I'm going to mulch around these, and then I'm going to water them in. And I mean, it's really about perspective, you guys. So like when I'm looking at my fern and it's not looking so great, instead of being sad about that, I think of it as, oh, I've got some free mulch, right? Put it to use. If I accidentally end up propagating ferns because there are spores on there, then I'll actually be pretty excited about that. So, you know, I'm not worried about it. So I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. I might add some more later on, but I think I'm done for now. And I'm going to water that in so they have a nice drink, because today is my watering day. This watering can is just kind of fun. And I did end up having to drill holes in these with my husband's drill. I had forgotten to do that. I usually use a soldering iron. And this one right here, I forgot, and it had soil in it, so it got kind of mucky. So I wasn't really digging in it, I was just planting on top. So I didn't want to free up any bacteria. But that's why I'm not growing any root crops in there. There we go, and hopefully the transplant shock doesn't take out these cucumbers. And these are a bush type, so hopefully this gives them enough space. These containers are really big. And just to give a comparison, this is my hand. So, looks good. All right. I always feel so productive after I finished doing any kind of project, and using containers like this really gives you that sense of accomplishment in a smaller amount of time. So if you're thinking about making a garden and you have any kind of mobility issues or pain issues, or you're getting older, possibly having big containers like this, especially you can get them up off the ground. My husband has cut some chunks of wood, which I think would be cool to just like put up on a stump, and then you have like your own really raised garden. So having a sense of accomplishment definitely makes you feel like less reluctant to go out and start doing some work in the garden. All right, everybody, God bless you. Hopefully you enjoyed this project, and I'll see you on my next video.